Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Wahra Kakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, the bishops and elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and elders, peace and blessings and salvation and salutations unto the hopeful elect, the house of David, the Bayaf that would die, for whom these epistles are written for in these last days. Shalom to the elect, Shalakia for the slip. This is gonna be a real quick lesson. We're gonna play like a little clip. I pray that this is edifying. It just goes into the narrative that's being built around Babylon, which is called America today, but known in the scriptures as Babylon, Mystery Babylon. That basically the ego of Babylon would get so big that it would turn off all the other countries, and I mean, it fits. It's fit. I mean, they fit the prophecy so perfectly. I mean, literally, right? So let's get into it. So this is from RT News. This is Trump threatens BRICS with tariffs over anti-U.S. agenda. So he's the big bad president that's supposed to come in and restore America's glory back to what it was. Basically the '80s, and you know, it's over, man. I mean, it's over, and they don't know it's over. But anyway, it says the U.S. president has warned of economic retaliation as the group moves to bypass the dollar in trade, and that's the genesis of this. That's the problem for America anyway. They're in a situation where if they have countries that are seeing this, that are American backed, and they're usually on board with America, but they're seeing the possibility of all this financial windfall going elsewhere and starting their own group, and they're gonna want to get a cut in that too, right? Germany, Germany's the first, I believe, right? They're like, man, they trying to ride the fence, you know, and these countries, and now him hitting tariffs and shit on his own allies, it ain't looking too good, man. The beast is starting to hate the whore, right? It says U.S. President Donald Trump is considering tariffs on BRICS nations and has accused the group of adopting anti-U.S. policies. Yeah, because they excluded you from the fucking leadership. You can't be a leader in something you didn't create. And they hate that shit. All right? It says, speaking at the White House on Wednesday, he claimed the group is working to weaken the dollar and strip it of its role as the world reserve currency, which is a cause for war, y'all. Y'all know this is a cause for war. The Lord kept bringing you closer and closer to that WW3. That stuff that's going on over there in the Middle East, playing a big role in this. That's why them 1948ers over there provoking everybody, because they want America to jump bad, right? It says they have BRICS. It says, which is basically a group of countries which are anti the United States, and India is a member of that, if you can believe it. Trump said. It says it's an attack on the dollar, and we're not going to let anybody attack the dollar. Fighting words. You know, I mean, there's literally only one way for this to end, y'all. I mean, we read the scriptures, we know where this is going. The ego is huge, all right, within America's borders, right, and globally, right. The dollar is being attacked as they're perceiving it, and so they're going to do some attacking themselves, because that's the American way. All right, it says Trump earlier warned that any attempt by the group to challenge the U.S. dollar would be met with harsh economic measures. BRICS members targeted by the latest sanctions, such as India and Brazil, said they would protect their domestic interests. Trump also announced on Wednesday that India would face 25% tariffs and additional penalties starting on Friday over its continued trade with Russia. So he just confirming to you that even though, remember when the Ukraine war started with Russia, America basically put them sanctions on them, and man, it collapsed. Basically, their ruble, it collapsed, pretty much overnight. It tanked the value, I'll say. It didn't totally collapse it because they recovered from it since then, but it tanked the value in the immediate, and people were fighting over fighting in lines to get to the damn bank to try to get their money out, right? And now they have a workaround. I'm talking about Russia, right? Because Ezekiel 38 applies to them. They have a workaround. They have China, who is an economic power right now, and is ascending, right? They have backers. They have people that are riding with them, just like the scripture says in Ezekiel 38. Prophecy's lining all up, guys, and it's going to end the way the Lord said it's going to end. Remember, the Lord is a man of war, so this is all gearing up towards World War III. Trump also, it says he said the tariffs were imposed partly because of India's membership in BRICS and partly because of what he called a tremendous trade deficit with New Delhi. Trump also imposed a 50% tariff on all goods from Brazil effective August 1st, which is today, claiming the country poses a threat to the national security, foreign policy, and economy of the United States. So, you know what that means? They're gonna start rounding up Brazilians. You ain't gonna be able to catch no direct flight to Brazil no more, you guys. Right? You ain't gonna be able to go to Sao Paulo. See all them thick ass Brazilians out there. You're gonna have to you gonna have to turn in your US passport. It's about to get ugly, guys. Traveling is gonna become dangerous, and Esau's about to lock down these skies. He's about to show y'all them horns for real. Okay. BRICS was established in 2006 by Brazil, Russia, India, and China, with South Africa joining in 2010. It says over the past year, it has extended membership to Iran, which that's the Persians. Pay attention to these names. This is all Ezekiel 38 right here. Okay? Iran, which is Persia, Egypt, Ethiopia. Matter of fact, fuck it, let's get it. We don't have to bull jive around. We ain't got to bull jive around. It's written. Come on, guys. This is Ezekiel 38:1. It says, "And the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog and the land of Magog," which you get an ancient map, okay? It would be in the area of where Russia is today. Okay? It says, "The chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him," which we're doing. It says, and say, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh by Shemel Shah thy power." It says, "Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, and the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal." See, that goes into the prophecy also of the Lord hating Esau. Because remember, these are Edomites as well. You know, the Lord has no love for Esau. No love. Okay? He's using them as a tool on his left side, right? The Lord has his right hand and his left hand. His left hand is consisted of the devil who's ruling the earth right now, according to Job 9:24. So it's consistent. The prophecies are consistent and they fit well, right? Nothing is going against anything else. The prophecies work all together, right? The Lord did this perfectly. Okay? And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. What is he saying? He's saying that I'm going to bring you back into that spirit of that old Soviet Union, that cold Siberian, bear, all right, which represents Russia. Okay? It says, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. And he said he was going to give you armies. He said he was going to, man, the Lord is a bad man. He gave you exactly what he said he was going to give you. He said, I was going to bring you back. Okay, I'm gonna bring you back to that old the old Soviets, not Soviet, old Soviet Union spirit, and that's what the Russians, they have pride within them, those Russian borders now, or the old pride that they used to have prior to the Berlin Wall coming down. Now they're back in that same spirit, and they see the fall of America, immensely, right? It says, here's the point. Persia, which is Iran today, we agree on that. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. So they're defending, and then you have Brazil and, traditional Jake countries, right? This is all going towards one direction, y'all, and it was never not going that direction. It's headed towards World War III. This is a part of the prophecy of Matthew 24 that says there shall be rumors of wars. This is a rumor. The rumor is the BRICS nations are forming and they're trying to take down the dollar. That's the rumor. The scriptures liken it unto a pregnant woman going into contractions. BRICS was established in 2006 by Brazil, Russia, India, and China, with South Africa joining in 2010. Over the past year, it has extended membership to Iran, Persia, Egypt, Ethiopia, just like the Lord said He would, the United Arab Emirates, and Indonesia. BRICS partner countries include Belarus, Bolivia, Cuba, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Nigeria, Thailand, Uganda, and Uzbekistan. Those are all of those armies with shield and helmets. Okay? Russia Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has said BRICS countries are seeking alternatives to the dollar to shield themselves from Washington's arbitrariness, calling that the shift irreversible. Whew. Last year, Russia's finance ministry said national currencies made up of 65% of BRICS trade, with the dollar and euro falling below 30%. Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov, said BRICS is not a rival to the U.S., but warned that the language of threats and manipulation is not the way to speak to members of this group. So, yeah, there's only one way this is going, okay? And they're sick of the manipulation. Everybody's sick of manipulation, man. Nobody likes a manipulator, right? And they try to use threats as manipulation, tactics to get what they want. That's not what's going to happen, though. This is not going to go the way America thinks it's going to go, right? The Bible wins out every time. Prophecy wins out every time. That's why we champion it so much. It is our comforter, and it also is our direction. We see where the direction is going, and all we're doing is prophesying it. This is Jeremiah 51:7, and this is one of those prophecies, right? This is Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand, right? His left hand. It says, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Are they not upset? They were so upset that they formed their own clique outside of the American bubble. And now America is feeling that pinch. They feeling that pressure. Now the EU, NATO, they're looking to try to step in and stop this because they're trying to funnel all. America wants to sit at the top. That's what it's really all it's about. It's an ego stroke. But it challenging the dollar, man. America, you see what happened to Muammar Gaddafi. You challenge the dollar, you get stripped on live TV and something shoved up you know what. Okay? And then Hillary Clinton come on TV later on and say, well, yeah, you just go look up that clip. Okay? These are people are the devils, man. These people are the devil. And they will be destroyed by their own hubris. Okay? Their own hubris. Matter of fact, let's get that. This is Obadiah 1:3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Caucasian. Anyway, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And that is the mindset they have. That's the mindset that they have. They don't feel that they can be destroyed. They don't feel like they can be brought down, but the Lord has other plans. He allowed you to get to this lofty place so that you can eventually fall. Now, the way he's going to do it is going to be monumental because he's going to use not only the enemy, but he's going to use your allies as well. So your allies are going to turn on you too. That goes into the prophecy of Daniel, where it talks about the 10 toes. All right, the clay mixed with iron, it don't mix, and that's what's going to happen. Obadiah 1:7, it says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border, right? Ready for war. They joining you. They're ready to go to war with the bricks with you. And eventually, what's going to happen? It says, the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. And that understanding in him is talking about you, Babylon. There ain't no understanding in you because you're going to be like, what did we do? What did we do? But we just read Jeremiah 51:7. You have given, you are the golden cup the Lord uses to get everybody else drunken on the stupidity that you put as policies globally. And now everybody has been pissed with you, but you just didn't see it because, again, the scripture says you have no understanding in you. You wasn't paying attention. And that's how the Lord wanted you. He wanted you to get high off the hog and think that you in a good place, and eventually that's when you're going to send them troops in there to finish you the fuck off. Now, again, this is all in the Bible. The Christians can cry about it. They can say, America's not in the Bible. Okay, well, how do you explain what's going on today? And if you can't explain it, how does it coincide with the Bible you say is true and factual? See, there's that thing where I don't want to be a part of the destruction, so I'm going to pretend that the Bible is just a fairy tale on certain aspects, but then in other aspects we can, Christianity, man, you're done, man. You're done. You don't have the answers. You don't have the answers, man. Just pointed out the scriptures lining up. Literally just read an article. Article had nothing to do with, as far as I could tell. But they basically broke down Ezekiel 38. And then I went to Ezekiel 38 and showed you. And these people, this Christians is, hey man, give it up, man. Just keep reading that damn hymnal book or whatever you call it. Okay, and keep singing them damn church songs, man, because this ain't working. This ain't working. Okay. Because the other countries are pissed.
It is, I think, investor attention turning back to the macro with the surprising news that Switzerland.
I want to say fair use, fair use, fair use. We're just reading the Bible. Fair use, YouTube, fair use. We're just reading the Bible and we're matching it up with today's news. Education for educational purposes.
In particular, I mean, there's a lot of news flow around a lot of countries here, but the standout here is Switzerland. The fact that this country was initially seen as one of the countries that would see favorable treatment from the United States. They might be one of the first to ink a trade deal, and here they are sitting with a 39% tariff. So let's get straight to that story. U.S. President Donald Trump has updated tariff rates for a swath of countries, ramping up trade barriers with some of America's closest trading allies. Canada has been slapped with a 35% levy. Switzerland, as I mentioned, Switzerland's rate is now 39%, while Taiwan faces a 20% duty. Trump had previously announced India would be hit with a 25% rate. All of the newly unveiled tariff rates come into effect from August 7th. Now, Mexico has been granted a 90-day extension as negotiators continue trade talks. Let's take a look at some of the markets and how we're reacting to the news. You've got dollar trading higher versus the Swiss franc, so we are seeing a bit of a sell-off in the Swissy this morning. Dollar up about 18 bips versus the Swiss franc. You are also seeing a little bit, actually not a huge amount of movement in dollar versus the Canadian dollar or dollar versus the Mexican peso. Let's dive into the Swiss story because I think from an equity market perspective, this is going to be the most significant news. The Swiss government says it remains in contact with U.S. officials and will analyze the situation and decide on how to proceed. Let's get out to Carolyn, who joins us now with more on this surprising news. Carolyn, I don't think investors were bracing for a 39% tariff rate. If anything, when April 2nd came round, many were thinking Switzerland could be spared, certainly would end up better off than many of its peers. Not the case.
No, you're absolutely.
Yeah, man. So, y'all, if you want to get this video, man, you can go to the channel. We'll put it in the, CNBC. Shout out to them for providing that content. Fair use again, fair use YouTube, fair use CNBC. But also, this is for educational purposes to learn about, the economy and how it affects you and me. Hey, listen, this world right here is about to fade away. The world to come is going to be led by Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai is going to, bring us into a world that is going to be clean. There's going to be respect, rules, the correct rules, and there's going to be hierarchy, okay, where the Israelites are on top and everybody else at the bottom. But it's going to be a better world because we're not going to have GMOs. We're not going to have wars anymore. That's going to be a thing of the past. See, that's the thing. The Bible prescribes us to be in power, right? Because we're going to bring the actual world peace. There will be no world peace until we get back into power. And until then, you're going to be fighting and threatening each other with nukes. And eventually, one of you going to shoot it off first, and then everybody else going to join the party. And that's when we're going to come into power. So, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Al Shai, Ba'Shem Muhammad Kakadash, Shalom to the elect.